You had mentioned in a previous interview that you had started meditating 10 years ago as a means to lower these anxiety attacks that you were dealing with at that point. So for people who are often prone to anxiety attacks, who often get anxious or stressed, is there something specific they can do in that moment that can hopefully help them and calm them down?
Yeah. So, of course, I have to say, if you're having anxiety attacks, go to a psychologist. That's important to say as well, have the clinical background. But
Mhm.
in the yogic tradition, in my experience, the things that really help to slow down the mind then is the breath. It's the thing that's always going to be there with you. It's the easiest thing to access. And slow down the breath. When you slow down the breath, that works directly with the mind process as well, the thought process. And the mind will become calmer and calmer, quieter and quieter. So sit down. If it's possible to walk outside, have some fresh air, depending on where you live. If it's possible to have contact with nature, that's really helpful. But in the specific moment, just connect with the breath.
Okay.
So, something that you could do is, for instance, slow down, begin to take a deep breath in. And maybe first you will bring the shoulders up towards the ears and then exhale and release. And in this way, you are also releasing the stress from the body. So, do that a few times. And then just practice ocean breathing, which comes with the sound of the breath as well. So there's no constriction of the throat. You're just making the breath a little bit more audible. So it would sound like this. And just connect with your own breath.
Mhm.
Adding the sound will help with your ears being involved. And yeah, and then just slow down. Slow down. But the only thing that is going to help you transcend this anxiety is bringing the mind to the present moment. Because anxiety, as I mentioned before, arises from something from the past or the future. And until we learn to really appreciate where we are right now, then anxiety is always going to be there. Eventually, with more practice, what you can do in moments where you're having anxiety is one, you're going to get better at recognizing the signs before you get into an anxiety attack, for instance. So you'll be able to target it from that point. And you can start to include mantras. So if you have a spiritual practice, then maybe instead of just focusing on the breath, you can repeat your mantra. Or you can repeat an affirmation. Things like, it's okay, I am strong, I am divine, everything's okay. Things like that. And with more and more practice, connection with the self, then anxiety is going to eventually reduce quite substantially.